Greetings everyone, and I hope you're all happy and healthy out there in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And what a few weeks it's been for Hot Toys and Hot Toys collectors. We've seen new figures dropping, a raft of new pre-orders, and even prototype teasers. And with the release of the new '89 Batman, we find ourselves in the middle of a pitch battle between collectors over which is best, the original DX09 or the 2.0 version. Don't worry, I'm definitely not stepping into the ring on this one. I own the original DX09 and I am more than happy with it. But if you want my opinion, here it is. If you like the DX09, buy that one. If you prefer the 2.0 version, buy that one. If you like both of them, buy both of them. But please stop trying to kill each other on social media. It takes all the fun out of collecting. If it means that much to you, just whip out your 1/6 scale gentleman sausages and measure them and settle it. But that's enough of that. So today we're going to be taking a look at Hot Toys Classic Predator from the Robert Rodriguez directed Predators from back in 2010. This is to coincide with the Hot Toys teasing us with their recent Jungle Hunter 2.0 version. Now this figure is sort of widely regarded as the 2.0 version of the first ever Jungle Hunter that the Hot Toys released way back in, I believe it was 2009. But that was not without his issues, shall we say. Most notably, he had some scale issues, particularly with the head and the biomask as well. But that's enough Ultimate Hunter history. The review will take the usual format. We will have a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories, then it will be out with the Pred himself for an up-close look, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But before we kick off with the box, I would just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who has supported and subscribed to the channel. And to those of you watching and not subscribing, come on, take the plunge. It's cost and pain free. All you need to do is mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon, and you will be sure not to miss any of the action figure and statue goodness coming up on the channel. And trust me, there's a hell of a lot of it. So, without further ado, onto this box. Very nice box it is too. Old style, you know, we're looking at a much older figure here, so the box is perhaps not in the best condition. It's not a brand new figure to me. Been in the collection a while, but what you're looking at here is quite a deep box. It's got this slipcover design. On the front here, it just says Predators, Classic Predator. You've got Movie Masterpiece in the bottom left-hand corner. Hot Toys logo in the bottom right. You've got this clear, well, I say clear, this red sort of cellophane plastic window here, which is sort of meant to replicate the laser sighting that the Predator has there. But yeah, on the side, it just says Classic Predator. Same on the right-hand side as well. On the bottom, just simply says Predators. We'll bring it round the back. On the back here, you've got this sort of very nice sort of grayscale image of the top of the biomask itself, with the Predator highlighted inside that biomask, and it says Predator or Prey. They might have been predicting something there, but yeah, it is what it is. It says Classic Predator at the bottom there. You've got one of those sort of symbols from the Gauntlet countdown, and all the usual warnings and credits on the bottom there. Don't piss this figure off, or it might skin you and hang you from a tree. So yeah, that's the slipcover. So we'll take the slipcover off, and underneath what you are greeted with, we'll just put that to one side. And as I say, you might notice that this box has perhaps seen better days. I didn't get this new. It came to me from another collector. So it's had a couple of owners, and I think along the way the years have taken the toll a little bit on the box, but it's still in pretty good nick. So yeah, on the front here you've got a shot of what looks like the figure to me. I'm pretty certain that's the figure, or I could be wrong. It says Classic Predator there. Once again on the side just says Predators. On this side it says Predators. Obviously it's going to say the same on the top because it's the same box. On the back here, another really nice grayscale image. This is the biomask in profile. Once again, another one of those countdown digits. It says Classic Predator at the bottom, and you've got all the credits there of everybody involved in the production of this thing. So, not dissimilar to an oversized NECA box, it's this book cover design with Velcro fastenings, and when you open it up, obviously underneath the clear plastic cover is the figure itself. Obviously not in there because it's been out in the collection for a while. And on the left-hand side, on the inside of that cover, is once again another picture, a very nicely done picture of the Predator himself, the figure itself, yeah. And there's a brief blurb about the movie and the character. If you're wanting to read that, please feel free to hit pause. So yeah, that's the box. So what we will do next is what we always do. We will dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your classic Predator figure. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with your classic Predator figure. We'll start with the hands as we always do. There are 6 hands in total, that's 3 pairs. There's an open palm pair on the figure itself, which we'll take a look at when we bring the figure out, but we'll have a look at the others. And you've got a variety here. You've got a sort of a pointing finger, which I believe is probably for keying in on the self-destruct gauntlet. You've got a sort of a gripping hand here with the extended thumb, another open palm hand here, and another gripping hand with once again with the extended thumb. But we'll take an up close look at the level of the sculpt here. Now, I have to say straight off the bat, for a 12-year-old figure, and I'm probably going to say this more than once in this review, I think the sculpt and the paint applications here have really stood up well. Most certainly have held up against the test of time. The detailing on here is really nice. You've got that sort of leather stroke hide effect, fingerless straps over the hand itself. The paint applications are really nice. You've got texturing in the skin there. These black dots are picked out on the back of the hands themselves. That's continued down through the fingers, if the camera's catching this, into the long black fingernails themselves. The palms of the hands are really nicely done. There's creasing in there, and almost like how can I put this? Almost like a fish scale texture in there in the sculpt and in the paint applications. And it's got that. And I think the expression was, I believe it was. I think it was Stan Winston possibly who said he described the Predator body as being not dissimilar to a rotten banana or an overripe banana, and most certainly the high gloss paint applications on here give that sort of feel to it. And the screen accuracy is most certainly there. Yeah, and there's a sheen to it almost, which is very effective and very screen accurate. So yeah, very nicely done. Let's just take a look at one more before we move on. Once again, the paint applications here are very similar. Sculpt is of the same high standard. The attention to detail is spot on. You've also got these silver studs that have been picked out with some metallic paint that run across the knuckle section of these leather type wraps, and that's consistent on there as well. So yeah, great sculpt, great paint applications, screen accuracy on point, and yeah, very, very good considering its age. So that's the hands. We'll put those to one side. What else do you get? We'll get some of the mundane stuff out of the way. You get a set of instructions. Now this covers all kinds of things, from swapping out the biomask to installing batteries, because there's a couple of light up features actually here, to installing the extra gauntlet as well. But yeah, set of instructions there. Put those to one side. A set of spare wrist pegs, unopened, which is always good to see. And actually looking at these wrist pegs as well, it's really nice. These are large, they're substantial, these wrist pegs. They're not like some of the smaller ones that we see today. That's probably because it's this figure is a little on the large side, so you could get away with these, but it's good to see these. I think these are sturdier, and a testament to the ones that are already in there that this bag's never been opened. So we'll put that to one side. What next? We'll take a look at these interchangeable mandibles. Now there's a whole process that goes on with the face of the Predator to affix the biomasks and to alter the actual the mandibles as well. And there's a whole sort of slot out process, but these are just two of the slot out mandibles. We'll take a look at that whole process when we bring the figure out, and also look at the battery installation, etc. But these are a couple of the swap out mandibles. Now these aren't actually made of plastic, I don't think. These feel and look to me like they're made out of resin. They've got some weight to them. They don't feel like a plastic. They feel like a solid resin. And the paint applications on here are really, really nice. That sort of those flesh tones, those gradiated flesh tones coming in to the center of the mouth itself. It looks like there's vein work in there. Then there's detailing on the exterior fleshy parts with wrinkles in the skin. Black spots are picked out. I shall try and get this as close into camera as I can. So you can see that the brown applications, paint applications are really good. It's got that sheen, that wet look to it again. And the actual teeth themselves are really, really nicely painted. There's a weathering on there from the base going where it gets white to the tip to give it that sort of ivory look. And yeah, overall, just really, really nicely done. Really nicely sculpted, really nicely painted. And nice to see them made out of resin and not plastic. Or it might be acrylic. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comment section below if I'm wrong, but yeah. So those are the two mandibles, the swap out mandibles. We'll take a look at the swap out gauntlet. Now there is a piece already attached which has an opening mechanism the same as this one does, and we'll look at how that attaches to the wrist when we bring it out. But there's a reason why this is actually missing one of the digits in the center of the countdown there. But yeah, paint applications are nice. The screen accuracy looks spot on there. It's got that metallic paint application on there, which is really well done. And then there's silver dry brushing on there and some dark dry brushing and washes to give it that depth and that texture. And essentially this particular swap out piece is for use with these two holograms. Now I don't use these in the display. I don't think I've ever actually had these in the display, but they're there if you want to use them. They're a clear plastic, a clear blue plastic. This one looks to me like it's a solar system, maybe Earth there, with some surrounding planets. And you simply, once you swap this out on the arm, then you can attach the appropriate holographic piece if you're wanting to do that, and that's what it looks like when it's on. And you get that one, and there's also one which I am not sure what that is supposed to be, that particular planet there. I'm not sure whether that's meant to be Earth. It doesn't look like Earth. My geography isn't the best in the world, but those land masses most certainly don't look like, oh, they could be actually. That could be. But yeah, let's not get lost in what planet that's supposed to be. Once again, that simply slots in place, and I know there's a specific way of getting that one to go in. Yeah, yeah. So if you're wanting to display the holograms on the coming out of the gauntlet, that's an option as well. So we'll put that to one side. We'll take a look at these two biomasks now. Just the fact that it's got two, I think, is really good. There's a battle damaged one and an undamaged one. We'll take a look at the undamaged one first. Take a look at the quality here. Now, I still, even this far down the line, I am really, really impressed with the sculpt here. The accuracy looks absolutely on point to me. I've seen a lot of paint applications to make plastic look like metal, but this is up there with one of the best in my opinion. The paint applications are absolutely on point. The dry brushing, the washes on there, the scratches, the dints, just overall a fantastic paint application there. It's got that sort of pattern design in the eye section there, which is screen accurate. If you flip it round, if we take a look at the back here, now this is how we can actually get the biomask onto the Predator without encountering those problems that they had with the first figure, which is where it simply looked oversized. Is that the whole mandible section and mouth section come out, and you can actually, this slots in place, and it gives it proportion and scale, so you're not losing anything. But as I said, we'll take a look at that when we bring the figure out. But yeah, overall, screen accuracy on point. Great paint applications, just a very, very good job there from Hot Toys. And it has this wire leading out, which is for the illuminating sight there, the red sight that we all know. This actually goes into the plasma casters pack at the back where the batteries are held. And we'll take a look at that feature. Fingers crossed the batteries still work, because it's not a feature I use a lot of. So yeah, that's the undamaged mask. Damaged biomask, pretty much exactly the same, other than the damage itself. Yeah, you've still got the mandible section there for fitting it. There's just a piece missing here. There's lumps missing out of it. There are scratches, there are burrs, there are dinks all over it. There's a piece missing on the crown there. This whole eye portion is missing as well. So really, it's up to you which look you want to go for. Once again, it has the same light up feature as well. So and clips into the back of the plasma caster. So yeah, great inclusion to have two there. I think that is really good work there from Hot Toys to include both a battle damaged and a complete one. So we'll put those to one side. Finally, we get this diorama stand stroke base. Now, I do like this. I must say, for 12 years old, I think it's great to see. It was great to see Hot Toys venturing out of the hexagonal base, the box standard hexagonal base, and dipping their toes into the water of dioramas. So what you've got here is all one piece of plastic. We'll take a quick look at the bottom. There are no feet on this, which is a shame. It could possibly do with some feet on there, but it is what it is. And really, it's meant to replicate that campsite on the alien planet that the poor mercenaries find themselves on, and at the behest of a wide variety of different predators. So yeah, you've got this sculpted sort of rock stroke mud floor. Paint applications are really nice. There's varying tones of brown in there and some greys to give it that sort of earthy and wet look. There's a skull sat in the middle of it all there, which is sculpted in really nicely with some browns, and there's a shine to it. There's a tooth missing there. Some really nice paint applications. Rocks at the back there. There's some once again some great paint applications on there for its age. There's some dry brushing on there, texturing and washes to give it that overall rock look. And then you've got this sort of behemoth of a skull on the right hand side. And this is, once again, this is all plastic, but it's just done really well. It's cracked and broken and fragmented, and the paint applications to give it that bone-like quality are just really good, and I think still stand up today. There's also a second piece that goes with this if you're wanting to use it. Now, this is a sort of a skin that's been hung out to dry between two poles here. Now, this is all sculpted plastic, once again, apart from these cords. I'll try and get this all in shot. These cords which attach to the ends of the skin itself. And just once again, some really nice paint applications and sculpting on here. You've got these bones in the center here, or what look like bones, and then there's a sculpting into the flesh here, or into the skin rather, to give it that leather-like, that hide-like look, which is really nicely done. Paint applications on the sticks stroke poles at the side were really good. You give it that weathered wood look. There's washes on there, and this simply, I mean, you can take a look around the back. That's continued around the back as well. That high level of paint application as well on the back, even though we don't really see that. So, yeah. Great paint applications, great sculpt, and this simply, he said confidently, slots into the two appropriate holes that you'll find, and I'm hoping I've got this the right way around, or I'm going to look very foolish. Yeah, it simply slots in like that. I'll just angle this so we can see it all. Yeah, so you've got that addition to the diorama of the stand as well. So yeah, that's the stand. Comes with a standard issue crotch grabber, which simply slots in there, and that completes the diorama base. So there we have all the accessories. So without further ado, what we'll do next is we will bring out Pred himself, get him onto the stand, get him onto the turntable, see if he stood the test of time, and see if he still deserves that grail status. Okay, so here he is, onto the stand, onto the turntable. It is the classic Predator from Predators. I can't give first impressions on this figure because obviously I've had it for a long time, but regulars to my channel will know I give my 500th, 1000th impression. And this still is one of my favourite Hot Toys pieces in the collection. Is it worthy of grail status? Well, let's have a close-up look and find out. But yeah, still very impressive. The proportions look spot on. The screen accuracy is there. The attention to detail. And as I keep saying, for a 12-year-old figure, I think it has most certainly stood the test of time. But we'll do what we always do. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. The eagle-eyed amongst you may notice there are some slight alterations to this figure. Now, some of that is down to the previous owner. Some of that is down to me. I wanted to make this as close to the original Jungle Hunter Predator as possible. Because I knew the faults with the original piece. There wasn't another Jungle Hunter Predator around at that point in time in 1/6 scale. This was the closest thing, and this seemed like a reimagining for me. So I wanted to make it as accurate to the original Predator as possible, because he gets displayed with the Hot Toys Dutch Schaefer. But that's enough of me wobbling on. We'll cover those minor alterations that have been made to this particular piece as we go through it. But we'll get him off the stand and have an up-close look, and we'll start at the bottom, work our way up. So let's take a look at these feet, and suitably impressive they are too. They've got that same high gloss, wet look design and paint applications that we see on the hands and on the body itself. Yeah, the sculpture is really nice. These talons are incredibly well done and well painted. The bindings here are all sculpted in, as is the sole of the I want to call it a shoe, but that's well, sandal, whatever you want to call it there. But yeah, the paint applications are really nice and really well done and really screen accurate. And obviously the feet are very large, because his feet were huge. Moving up, you've got these sort of shin guards, leg protectors. Once again, they've got the same sort of high quality of paint application and sculpt that you see on the biomask to give that metallic look, although they are completely plastic. And one of the things you do notice when you pick this piece up is the sheer weight of it. It has got some heft to it. It feels like you've got something that is really high quality. It's got some weight to it, and yeah. So let's take a look around the back of these shin guards. Yet, and once again, you've got that same high quality of paint application to give that metallic look with the washing in the crevices there. This is where you start to see the first additions to this piece that don't come with the that didn't come with it straight out of the box. Are these tassels? There are tassels around the right leg here, and tassels around the right and the left arms, which make it more accurate to the actual original Predator from the original Predator movie. But moving up now, straight away it's great to see that the netting of the outfit itself is exactly that. It's netting. It isn't sculpted plastic. The body underneath here is really well done, and we've talked about that rotting banana thing that they were going for, but it's the high gloss sheen underneath there to give it that texture, that wet look. The dots on there, the paint applications, just all look absolutely spot on to me and screen accurate. These sort of hip plates, once again, these are actually stuck directly on to the figure itself. These don't move, but once again, that same high quality of metal paint application. There are dinks and scratches and burrs on there. The same with the cod piece. The cod piece itself is attached, doesn't move. There's no give in that. The skirt. Now the skirt here is actually made out of material. It's not sculpted, and it looks like a brushed cotton. That's the best way to describe it. But it's been brushed in such a way to give it that sort of leather stroke suede look. If the light will catch this, so it does look like hide. It does look like leather that's been brushed rather than what it actually is, which I would imagine is a cotton or a man-made material. But yeah, moving up, then attached to the top of the cod piece and the skirt itself is this sculpted plastic belt. It's all one piece. That doesn't move. There's no give in there. The silver dry brushing and washers on that buckle there to give it depth. Moving up, we'll try and get him as close as we can here, up to the body. Now, the body really, once again, it's reflected in the legs, it's reflected in the hands. It's that super high gloss body underneath. There's all different types of paintwork in there. There's brown shadings, there's black speckles. The musculature is there and defined and in proportion. You've got these lines that run up the ab section right up to the chest, these black marks, and then continue down the arm and on the chest area there. The armour on the chest itself is fixed in place. There is a little bit of give to it, but on the whole, I think simply down to the sheer weight of it, there's not a lot of give in there. But these straps that go across the right hand shoulder are plastic, not pleather, great to see. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed this bone necklace, with the bone skull necklace. That doesn't come with this particular figure. That's another addition. And it was the previous owner, actually, who added this and added the straps. And we were both moving in the same direction, I think, in thinking on what we were doing with this figure. But yeah, bring it round to the back. Now the plasma caster and the whole apparatus on the back is really nicely done. It's just a continuation of very accurate sculpt and high quality paint applications to give it that metallic feel. There's all kinds of detailing in there, as you can see from the bottom there and at the sides. That the intricate detailing is continued all the way through into the plasma caster itself, which moves and can actually you can actually slot it down all the way or slot it back. I would say if you do have this figure or do pick this figure up, this is quite delicate, so I would exercise caution. It's on a very, very small hinge if the light is catching that in there, so that could be quite easily broken, particularly if this figure fell, because it does have some heft to it. But yeah, that armor continues down the arms, obviously, the same high level of paint applications, and we come down to this the gauntlet itself. Now I'll try and stand him up at this point and maybe tilt this arm up so we can get this into shot. Moving back a little bit here, and he's very, very good at standing on his own, this guy, as well. I think that's down to the sheer bulk, the weight and the size of those enormous feet. But yeah, this is the swap out section here, and I'll just take this off. This portion just clips off. There are two sections there where it clips off. Now this one does lift up, if I can get the right side here. Got the wrong side. Bring it back into camera, and this one does have all the digits in the center there. And if you wanted to swap them out, it's simply a case of take that one off and pop that one on, and it clips in place like that. So really, it's entirely up to you, whichever one you want to use. I tend to stick with this one. The hologram look isn't one that I go for, but yeah, same as the other gauntlet. Same level of detailing, same level of sculpt, same level of paint application. These are the two open palm hands that we talked about. As you can see, once again, same level of sculpt and paint application, even down to those silver dots on the backs of the knuckles there. Taking a look at the blades now, what you're looking at here, I'll try and raise this arm up as well, and the articulation on this figure is pretty good. It's ratcheted at the elbows here. The legs I don't particularly move, and I wouldn't want to try, simply because this knee pad here is fixed. And I think if there is any give in there, there is a danger of damaging those. I never have him in a particularly dynamic pose other than with his arms open. So yeah, the articulation is good, but I wouldn't want to push it with this figure. But yeah, we were taking a look at that gauntlet now. Great detailing on there, reflected in the other gauntlet on that side, but this one obviously is larger. What you've got here are full metal retractable blades, which is really nice to see. These will slot in. The hand is in the way at the moment, but these will actually push back in like that and then extend out, and are fully metal. Really nice paint applications on there. They probably need a clean. They look like they need a clean to me. Not been cleaned for a while, but yeah, great to see. The sculpt on those metal blades is screen accurate, and they're still shiny today, even though they might need a little bit of a clean. So what else have we got? What else are we looking at here? Really, let's take a look at the how this face works, and how this mandible solution works. I mean, obviously you've got pipes going on here and all kinds of things. The dreads themselves. Let's have a quick look at the dreads before we look at the swap out face. Now these dreads are made out of what feels like rubber. And there's layer upon layer of them going back in. There's some shorter ones at the side here. Really, really nicely done. I have actually made some alterations to this. I don't know what to call these. The cuffs, the bands that fit in the dreads themselves were a much darker colour. You can see there's a few underneath here that I have yet to touch up. But I wanted to make it look as I said before, more like the classic Predator from the original Predator movie, and these were more gold. So I've actually touched these up with some metallic gold paint. Yeah, it pops a little bit more, and that was the look I was going for. But yeah, bring this back round again. Now you've got probably one of the only minor complaints about this is you've got this plastic neck piece here. And sometimes when you move the head around, it can ride up with it and it needs tucking back down. But on the whole, it's a minor issue. So the head sculpt, right, where to begin? Let's get this guy right into shot here and see if we can't get him to freestand for us right in camera. And I think really that speaks for itself. That wet look is continued. The paint applications are phenomenal, with the blacks and the browns, and those dots are continued. Once again, the ivory on the teeth, phenomenal. I mean, yes, there is a visible seam there, and we'll cover that, because what actually happens is here, you take out these mandibles, and we'll take that one out, we'll take that one out, and once again, these are the same high quality as the other swap out ones. And this bottom portion of the jaw comes out as well. Now these are all what I believe to be that same resin or acrylic, and they have the same, I mean, it's not going to focus here because the camera, because it wants to focus on Predator because he's so close, but you can see the detailing on there is great. That whole bottom section comes out. Now at this point you can put in the closed mandibles, which we'll do now, just so we can see what that looks like. So that section fits in there, and this section on the other side, so you can have the fully open. I mean, obviously I forgot to put the bottom part in there. That's the fully open look. I like that. I think it's really, really impressive, because you can see all the detailing in the paint application that's gone into creating that whole mouth area. But I prefer, if you're going to have the helmet off, to use the other ones. I just prefer that look. So yeah, or you can go for the wide open look, or you can take the whole thing off and go for the biomask. And this is where that shape that you saw inside the biomask comes in. Now I'm going to try and do this on camera, and now I've just dropped one. Butterfingers. Let's see if we can't slot this on. And it's simply a case of just aligning it, and there you go, it fits on. That's the battle damaged one. Now, once you've done that, it's simply a case of this wire here. Now, unfortunately, I checked these batteries and this light up function prior to this shot, this take, and unfortunately the batteries have died. They've been sat around for a long, long time, and I don't use this feature, so I think they just plain upped and gave up the ghost. But if you fiddle around in the back here, you will find, and if the camera can pick that up there, get my sausage fingers out of the way, there is a little connector there, and you simply slot that part in there, and that connects it. Now, just down below here, further down the plasma caster, there is a tiny little battery compartment. So use a very small Phillips head screwdriver, pop that off. I think it takes 2 very small button cell batteries, and then you flip this switch here. There is a tiny little switch there, and you simply flip that over, and what will happen is this portion here will illuminate, if I had batteries that were. But trust me, it does work. I tested it the first time I got this figure, but then removed the batteries to prevent them from leaking inside the mechanism in the plasma caster, and never got round to replacing them. But so they've died. But yeah, so you can put the battle damage one on, and we'll just give it a shot with the. If that'll come off, we will put the. This is, I must admit, if you're going for this, I don't go for this look. I tend not to go for the battle damage one. I prefer this. Now, this solution that Hot Toys have come up with, or came up with rather, to avoid the pitfall that they ran into on the first one, with the out-of-scale biomask and head sculpt. I think this solution really, really works. There was always going to be a compromise, and yes, you can argue that once, when the head doesn't have the biomask on, there are visible seams, but I would rather have those slight visible seams and have this whole thing in proportion. than have a head and a biomass that's out of proportion. So there you have it. That is Hot Toys Classic Predator from Predators. Let's get him back on the stand here and go in for final thoughts on this guy. And I don't often display him with the biomask on, and having just put it on now, I'm thinking he's going back in the display looking like this. I do like this biomask look. So there you go. Let's lift this camera back up so we can get all the big guy in shot, and let's get him spinning again and go in for final thoughts. Yeah. Oops. Now that was my mistake. I pushed him a little bit too far back there. So talk amongst yourselves while I try and salvage this. We'll bring him a little bit further in. Perhaps yeah, we'll take him off the stand off the turntable temporarily. I'm not going to cut at this point because these things happen. And going in for 30 takes until perfection is not my style. I like to keep it real. So let's bob him back on there. There we go. His head's tilted a little bit. So let's pull right back here so we can take him in all his glory. So yeah, there you have it. That is Hot Toys Classic Predator from the Robert Rodriguez directed Predators movie. And I have to say, final thoughts on this one. Yes, it most certainly has stood the test of time. Yes, it is most certainly deserving of its grail status. I think it's simply a phenomenal piece of work. It's Hot Toys flexing, Hot Toys doing just some amazing work. It will be interesting to see what happens with this version 2, if it does finally see the light of day. If it was just a prototype tease, I'll be fascinated. What improvements they're going to make, I will be really interested to see. But this piece, as it stands, most certainly it deserves that title of Grail. And if I had to give this a score out of 10, I still struggle to this day to find anything wrong with this. I know if you are a Predator purist, there are some things in there that aren't exactly 100%. I know there's certain parts of the paint application that aren't 100% screen accurate, but I am not. How can I put this? I don't observe. Perhaps it's just old age, and I don't observe that in that much detail. But yeah. I absolutely love this piece. I think it's phenomenal. It's an amazing piece. Love having it in the collection. And if I had to score this right now, I struggle to find anything wrong with it. I would have to give it a 10. If I can't find anything wrong with a piece, then it's a 10. So yeah, it's 12 years old, but it's a 10. So there you have it. A massive thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope it's been useful for you. Before we go over to the showcase, a quick roundup of what's coming up on the channel. We've got, from Hot Toys, we've got Hot Toys Deadpool exclusive edition. That's on its way to us, along with Ladypool as well. She'll be joining Mr. Deadpool. So we've got those two coming to us. We've got Org Toys Duke Leto from June. That has today just landed, so that will be going in front of the camera very soon indeed. Caustic Plastics Horror of Dracula, fingers crossed, that double pack will be on its way to us. Toys Battalion, Legendary Merchant, aka Tom Hardy from Taboo. Susu Toys, Blade 3 figure, looking forward to that. Blitzway's Astro Boy version 2.0. A boatload of present toys stuff. I'm not going to start listing that because I will be here till the cows come home. But yeah, and we've got NECA stuff in the 1/10 scale world. We've got 1/4 scale statues. There's the Prime 1 and Blitzway, Paul Atreides. Fingers crossed on that one as well. That should be with us shortly. So yeah, a huge amount of stuff on the horizon, as you can tell. So as always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the new content coming up on the channel. And all it remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching. From Pred, from me, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.